viewers, this is the second segment on our milk series that we did. A first segment, if you haven't watched that, go check it out on Rashna's Wellness YouTube channel. And so again, this is the second. I know we talked about a lot of the non-dairy options in our first segment. We talked about soy milk. I just have them here just to show you. If you haven't watched it, definitely go and see the segment. So again, we've talked about soy milk already, pretty good high in protein for a lot of people who have dairy, problems. And then we also talked about coconut milk. We also talked about almond milk. We did not talk about flax milk. Wanted to quickly introduce you. Flax milk is pretty high in omega-3s. It's only 25 calories in a serving, and it pretty much tastes just about what like a regular milk would. So it's fantastic to cut calories. Again, it's always going to be a little bit lower in protein, but it definitely is a very good option to cut calories and also at the same time have good source of omega-3s. So these are a lot of non-dairy options. And then so today I wanted to talk about, let me get these a little bit off the way. And then today I wanted to talk about a lot of our dairy options of milk, typical milk. Okay, so I'll probably go with the very first one. This is something that a lot of people buy, is called just basic. Again, I always would go any kind of milk. I always will definitely prefer and recommend organic milk. So this is just basic organic milk. This is ultra high pasteurized and also homogenized, which means it's been heated to a very high temperature, so it's more stable at room temperature. This milk pretty much has a shelf life for about good 4 to 5 months, just because it's ultra high pasteurized, and that is what is called UHT milk. And also it's also homogenized. What typically means, what they take is they take the milk, they churn it, all kind of different way, and different process that they use, so that all the particles of the milk, the fat molecules and the little molecules, they all homogenize together, which means it's not going to settle. So that means if I open the container of this milk, even if it's full fat, it's all just going to be one liquid. I won't see separate fat in the top. And if you remember back in the days, when growing up, you would get typical milk at home, and you see if you put the milk in a container, a fat layer comes in the top. And the reason it did that, because it was not homogenized, that means it would separate. So this is homogenized, and that's the reason it doesn't separate out. Bunch of drawbacks, again, go research yourself. But again, bunch of drawbacks of homogenized milk. First of all, it kind of gets lower in calcium and also vitamin C because of the homogenization process. Another level of processing, so a lot of people don't prefer homogenized milk. So that's one option, but normally if you buy milk, it's always going to say pasteurized and homogenized. So this is a typical full fat milk, okay? And the next one wanted to talk about is, and I'll get to in that second, and then wanted to talk about raw milk. Now, like I said, this one we talked about is pasteurized and homogenized both. This is raw milk. Nothing has been happened to it. It's just milk the way it is. It's not been pasteurized. So if you say it says raw milk, again, it's whole organic raw milk, never been pasteurized, never been homogenized. It's just the way, minimal processing, absolutely minimal processing. They get the milk, they can it, and then it gets to you. A very low shelf life. So that means once you open a can, first of all, it can be at room temperature. A lot of the other milks, honestly, can sit at the room temperature for maybe a good couple of days. They would not go bad. This milk, you cannot. Just like I said, it's never been heated to high temperature, so it's not that stable. And once you open a can, you probably have to finish a can in like 7 days max, or maybe 6 to 7 days. Good option for a lot of people who have allergies, but again, there's a lot of debate going on since the milk has never been pasteurized, and of course dairy has, there was a lot of things that happened back in 1960s. A lot of the dairy and the cattle had tuberculosis, and that's when they started pasteurizing the milk. They want to make sure that the bacteria doesn't come to the milk, and that's the reason pasteurization started. So it started with what is called a little temperature, then it went to medium temperature, now it's done ultra high temperature. The reason it's done ultra high temperature, I think more than anything else, it's just to give a good shelf life, so that a milk, honestly, from the time it's taken out, it can actually last on a shelf for about good 6 months. That's ultra high pasteurized. So this has never been pasteurized nor homogenized. That means the shelf life is maybe nothing more than a week, and it has to be in the refrigerator. So again, give it a try. A lot of people have seen fantastic benefits with the raw milk, but again, it's a give and take. Some people get scared, but again, if I've checked a lot of research, there's nothing that's been come bad about raw milk in terms of cases of people having any problems having raw milk. But again, a lot of people have seen fantastic differences in health once they start consuming basic raw milk. Okay, so let's get out of the way. So we've talked about pasteurization, homogenization. So the next one I wanted to talk about is, this is something I would say is safer. So this is again organic whole milk. but it's only pasteurized. It's never been homogenized. Okay, so that kind of brings a little bit more safer, of course, quite a bit more safer, since the pasteurization is the one that actually kills the bacteria. Homogenization is more for the milk looking pretty. That means, like I said, this container of the regular milk, it's all just one homogenized milk. There's nothing on the top of the milk right there. But again, this one, if it sits in the fridge, you'll see, in fact, you'll probably see even the top of the container is kind of, a little bit thicker from here than here, just because it's never been homogenized. Give it to kids. It's a fantastic option. It's a little bit expensive than basic milk, but again, trust me, it is. A lot of people have allergies, and a lot of kids who probably might be having some weight gain issues, they just can't gain weight. Better option, because the fat molecules of this are better absorbed by the body. So again, this is pasteurized but never homogenized. Fantastic option. Give it a try. Okay, so that's that. We've talked about raw milk, we've talked about basic pasteurization, we'll talk about complete milk, and I of course wanted to show you chocolate milk. Again, organic chocolate milk. Mostly chocolate milks I've seen, they come in 1% and 2%. Couple of things you want to avoid in the ingredients. When you read the ingredients, you want to make sure it doesn't have something called carrageenan. Carrageenan is kind of like an emulsifier. It makes the milk more stable, but again, something that definitely creates a lot of inflammation in the body as per research. A lot of even organic companies do add, in fact, just to mention, even this company, when it comes in the small containers, they add carrageenan, but this big container does not. So I definitely want to make sure you always avoid any milk. You want to make sure, especially something always added in milks and ice creams, you want to make sure that you definitely avoid carrageenan. Read the ingredients. Everything else, like I said, this says vitamin C, it's vitamin A palmitate, vitamin D3, organic cocoa, vanilla extract. Everything is all fine. Does not have carrageenan, so I'm happy with this. So that's basic chocolate milk. Okay. Next one, wanted to talk about A2 milk. I've done a lot of shows. I've talked about milk, A1 versus A2. If I would typically describe the, different kind of breeds of cows, A1 cows and A2 cows, okay? A1 cows are pretty much that kind of moved to this part of the world, the Northern America, the European world and all that stuff. A2 cows are typically, that's back in the Asian countries. And wanted to mention this because a lot of people, when they moved, especially to America, they have a lot of milk digestion issues. They just can't digest milk. And these are the same people, if I go by and ask them, were you okay drinking milk back in India or where, Asian countries, and they're fine. Everything was fine. I'm like, no, as soon as I come back to this country, I can never drink milk. I have, either bloating issues, I just can't digest milk and whatnot. So I wanted to bring the difference over here. The difference is that a lot of the cows back in the Indian or the Asian countries are A2 cows. That means the milk protein is casein, alpha casein A2. Okay, that's the difference. But the cows that come here is an A2 protein. That means the protein is casein A2, alpha casein, A1 in these countries and A2 in those countries, to clarify. So again, if you have digestion issues and you just can't, for some reason you're thinking you're getting lactose intolerant, all you might have to do is just give A2 milk a try, because like I said, this is the kind of milk that is available in the Asian countries. So try A2 milk, and you probably might not be lactose intolerant, just that you just can't digest the casein A1 as opposed to casein A2, and this milk is perfectly fine. So give this a try and you should be perfectly fine. You might be perfectly fine. And so that's A2 milk. Wanted to mention the brands will always say A2 milk on it. So that's how you distinguish with that. Wanted the next one, I'll talk about goat's milk in just a second. Wanted to talk about lactose-free milk. This is something a lot of people quickly try, just because when they, a lot of people have lactose, intolerance nowadays. What happens, your body needs an enzyme called lactate enzyme to digest this. And a lot of people, for some reason, don't. For whatever reason, can digest it. And as soon as they drink milk, they might have all different kind of issues. Okay, they might have stomachache issues, diarrhea issues, and whatnot. And the first thing people go in and try is either non-dairy milks or a lactose-free milk. What typically lactose-free milk is basic milk, but what they've done, they've actually already added the enzyme lactate to pre-digest the enzyme, the lactate, the sugar in it, which means when you consume it, you don't have to digest it because it's pre-digested already. Okay, and also to make the enzyme inactive in the milk, because they don't want to sell milk with the enzyme lactate active in it. They have to deactivate it once they digest the protein. So this milk is always a little bit more sweeter, just because the sugar is already pre-digested. So this milk than any other regular milks, the lactose-filled milk you always drink, if you drink in a glass of, in a small glass, it's always going to be a little bit more sweeter just because the sugar is pre-digested, okay? Before you quickly switch on to this kind of milk, I would give A2 milk a try. Okay, and I already mentioned you why. It could be just that protein is something that you can digest as opposed to the lactose in the milk. So fine, but like I said, it's a little bit sweeter. Sugar is pre-digested. That means, of course, the glucose goes up higher and all those things that happen accordingly as the glucose goes high. So try A2 milk if you think you are having digestion issues, and or a lot of these flax milks and the other kind of milks. And again, this is fine too, but again, it is still dairy, okay? The last one wanted to talk about, it's goat's milk, goat milk. Name says comes from goat. So these are all cow's milk, and this is goat's milk, okay, comes from goat. Benefits of this, of course, a lot of people have seen plenty of benefits of goat's milk. Just to name a few, first of all, this is naturally homogenized. That means the fat molecules of this are already very smaller as opposed to cow's milk. So that means this milk would never have to go through an homogenization process. So that means quite a less of processing involved than any of the milks. That's one benefit. A lot of people, again, who have, especially kids who might be having weight gain issues in terms of they're just not able to gain weight. A lot of people have, sometimes, mentioned that their kids just don't gain weight, everything is fine. Try giving them goat's milk. Of course, it tastes a little bit different. It is going to be a little bit more fattening, but again, it's very healthy. Doesn't have, the typical, the protein that comes in the cow's milk that people have issues with doesn't come in this. That means you probably will be able to digest it easily. It's easily digestible, like I mentioned, naturally homogenized. Yes, higher in fat, but definitely issues of homogenization have not been there. And again, goat in general, goat's milk has never been commercially produced so far. That means lesser processing in general, okay? So that's quickly my session on all different kind of milks, and wanted to wrap up again. These are non-dairy milks. If you haven't watched my segment on milk, segment 1, go ahead and watch it. I've talked about non-dairy milks. These are all the dairy milks which come from cows and goats. If you like this segment, give us a thumbs up, and again, subscribe to Rachna's Wellness, and stay tuned for